Welcome to Savvy Business, Life Unscripted with your host, Christina Rivera, where our guests share their wisdom and valuable business tips, empowering our audience to expand their personal potential.
Hi, Amy Walker. Welcome to Savvy Broadcasting, Life Unscripted. We're so grateful to have you here today. How are you?
I'm so good, Christina. Thank you for having me.
You betcha. Today, you're going to talk about, like I told you before the interview, one of the topics we get most asked to cover, which is money and sales. Without sales, our businesses aren't going anywhere. And you're going to talk about the psychology of sales. You've helped a lot of businesses sell in a way that is really beneficial both to the business owner and to the people that they're trying to help. So I'm grateful to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you. I think sales is the lifeblood of your business. And if you don't have it, it's painful. And so a lot of us love putting our energy into the creative sides of our business or the service sides of our business. And we try to treat sales a little bit like the elephant in the room, where if we just don't pay too close of attention to it, then we won't notice that we're bad at it. And it's a skill we all have to develop. But the great news is it's a very, very learnable skill.
And you know what's interesting? It's funny how we've gotten such a bad taste about sales, because really influence is what sales is. And we do it all the time. Influencing your husband to go to I want to go to that restaurant, or your kids to do their homework. It's really not that much different, but we treat it so much more like it's an icky thing. Why is that?
I think it's because sales done badly is bad and it feels bad. And so we've all experienced an unskilled or poorly trained salesperson.
Yeah.
It did not feel like a positive experience. And so we assume that that's how all sales has to be. And I mean, it's kind of like I've heard really bad musicians. That doesn't mean that that's how all music needs to be. Mm-hmm. So we just have to find our flow and find our way of doing it. And sales really is the art of influence. It's the art of helping someone connect with what they want, helping them to get out of their own way and give themselves permission to say yes to what they already want. It's not talking people into buying things they don't need or want. And that's where I think all of us have felt that negative sales experience is, somebody first of all, falsely enticed us in, and then they switched on us, and then they tried to get us to buy something we didn't feel like we needed or wanted. And that is never going to feel good, and that's never what I'm going to recommend that you do in your sales conversations.
And it will backfire. I've been in situations where I've been pressured into a certain thing, and then I go home and buyer's remorse. You're like, and that one-time buy is not what you want. You want to build that relationship forever, the life of your business, and to offer something that will really make their lives better, and something not only, as you said, need, want, or desire, something that will really benefit their life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you have a great service and you have a great product that you truly believe will make your potential clients' lives better, sales is opening the door and inviting them in. It's kind of like in, the olden days when we had brick and mortar businesses. I'm just kidding. I know some of you still do, but have a business there and not open the doors and invite people in and expect to get business. You've really got to open that door to your service. And I treat my sales conversations like the first step in taking care of my clients. And I think when you do that, you build relationships quickly. You help to bring people in. They should enjoy being sold to, and you should enjoy selling to them. Now, I get it that it will take some practice to get there, but it should be a pleasant, enjoyable experience.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be hellish. It really doesn't. But you mentioned something else, the elephant in the room. If I don't pretend that I'm trying to sell to you. And the interesting thing is, this happened when I first started my business. I was told by my mentor, find 50 people that you think fit your target market, start making those cold calls, And I'll be like, it was hellish waking up to do those things. But the thing about me is I love connecting with people. So I'll just have a conversation. So I call them up and I'm talking for hours with strangers. And we're like, why did I call you again? Who are, it got to the point where I was just talking for hours. We were just having phone conversations. Yeah. So, and, it really wasn't productive. I really wasn't giving my gifts or skills or help to these people. It was because I was scared of the actual doing of sales. I was like, I can't sell. It's icky. It's yucky. How do people begin to get past that fear of icky and selling this and realize that I'm just giving?
So there's a few components to learning to be really good at sales. And this question overlaps into two of them. Well, actually it kind of overlaps into all three. So the three things that it takes to really win in sales is you've got to have the right mindset, you've got to have the right skill set, and you've got to have the right level of activity. And so the mindset, before you jump on the phone and make those calls, I recommend that you use positive declarations, that you create positive statements around money, positive statements around connecting with people, and that you really work to get your mind ready to have that great conversation. Now with the skill set, that's real easy. The very first thing in the script that you're going to do is you're going to set intentions for the call and let them know where you're calling. And so I recommend that you use 3 intentions. One is a service-based intention, one's a result-based intention, and one is letting them know that you're going to sell to them. So the way that sounds for me is when I'm talking to somebody about their business, I'll say, well, I'm so excited to jump in and work on your business today. So I've really got 3 goals for this conversation. First, I'm going to analyze your business and really identify what's going on and where maybe you're getting stuck. Second, I'll map out an action plan with you and show you exactly what I recommend for your business. And third, if it looks like I could be a good fit for you, I'd love to tell you about my mastermind. Does that sound good to you? And then they get the buy-in. And so what that does is it takes away all that awkwardness of you feeling like, oh my gosh, they're going to think that I'm selling to them. Yeah, they are, because you just told them. Like, it's not a surprise. It's not hidden. And for them, that whole feeling of like, are they going to sell me something? Are they going to sell me something? Where is this going? They know exactly what to expect. And so right there in the psychology behind the sales, it calms both of you down and it gives you a pattern to follow so that that conversation can go well. And then of course,
it's honest. Yeah. And more or less the deeper part of it is you're being honest, you're being truthful, you're being straight up. And people admire that. And are, it was interesting. I told you beforehand, I was like the elephant in the room. I'm not going to talk about sales. We're not doing sales. We're just connecting. But the funny thing is people sometimes would be like, hey, I like what you got. Well, how much is it? I'll send you our pamphlet. Because it was that other thing. Let's go there. Money. Talking about the money thing, because sales connects with money. It's kind of interconnected. And there's that other ickiness around money, like, I have one friend, she's fabulous at all things health. But, charging for people's health, that's just not right. I actually want to help them. I not take money out of their pocket. I'm like, well, if you don't take money out of their pocket, aka give your valued skill to them so that you can make their health better, you're both getting something out of it. You're giving your valued service and they're paying for it. But how do they get past the ickiness of money now?
So we got to do mindset, skill set, and activity. So the activities are going to have to practice. It will take practice. It's not going to come overnight. The skill set piece of that is you need to learn that when you ask for the money, it's a very short and it's a very simple phrase, which for me, the way that I usually say it is I'll say, so what do you think? Do you want to do this? Do you want to work together? Something along those lines. And then if they say yes, I say, great, let's go ahead and get your payment arrangement set up. That's it. And it's really short and really simple. And sometimes people try to make that money conversation long. And as it gets longer, it gets more winding and weird and uncomfortable. And then the mindset piece behind that is it's learning to, when people struggle to ask for the money, oftentimes they also struggle to receive from people. They struggle to receive help. They struggle to receive love. They struggle to receive support. And so they are constantly giving, but then they're not allowing the receive cycle to come back to them. So one of the exercises that I have my clients do when they struggle in that area is for the next 7 days, anytime someone offers you help or something good or positive, say yes, and don't offer to reciprocate. Like just say yes, just balance out your giving and receiving, because we give all the time. But the receiving end of it, sometimes we struggle with. At least I know I did. Yeah. The other thing that I would add in there is that you're going to need to look into your beliefs around money. We've all inherited money beliefs, and some of them are just out of date, old thoughts that are no longer serving us well. So figure out what you actually believe about money, and then proactively work on changing that conversation and dialogue.
Yeah, those are absolutely fabulous points, because it's so true. You don't realize you're running on an old system that maybe from when you were a kid, only rich people have money and they're evil. And so you're like, I don't want to be one of those people. So you end up actually pushing it away because you don't want to be one of those yicky people that is really a story you heard when you were a kid that you're just carrying around without even realizing you're carrying it around. So, yeah. Now, you wrote some books. Share about your books because you wrote 2 of them so far.
Yeah, so my first book is a leadership book. It's a business leadership book teaching you how to be a better leader and how to have critical conversations. Mm-hmm. And it's called Walk Your Talk, Take Ownership, and Lead Like You Mean It. And this is my new one, which is so relevant to this conversation. It's called the I'm Not a Salesperson sales book, How to Sell Like a Natural Even If You're Not. And the reason I wrote it was because I was having so many conversations with people saying things like, well, yeah, Amy, you can close all these deals, but you're a natural. I'm not a natural salesperson. And I thought, oh, if you only knew how bad I was when I first got started, you would not be saying that. And so I wrote this book just for everybody who feels like sales doesn't come naturally to them, but they know that they need the process. So it covers the skill set, the mindset, it covers the activity, and it has a lot of script templates in there. So you can go in, and they're based off of my high-end scripts that I've had people pay me, upwards of $40,000 to write their sales scripts in their business. I've got templates in there that you can go and customize yours. So it's a really great resource for your business. And if it's okay with you, I'll give all of your listeners a chance to get it for free.
Ooh, I totally love that. Go for it.
So if you'll go to www.salesaremything.com, all spelled out, salesaremything.com, you can go and get a free digital download of the book, and you'll have all the templates and all the resources that you need in order to start feeling like you can sell and that it can be natural to you, even if, it's a skill that you have not mastered yet.
I love that you went here about scripts. For years in corporate America, my thing was collections. I was a collector for over 20 years. And when I first got started, it's just as scary probably as doing a sales call when you're not used to it. I'm going to ask for other people's money for the company I'm working for. And it didn't feel good at first. And I built scripts for myself to get on the phone because I would freeze up, I'm calling. So I would build out scripts so I could comfortably talk to people, know what I'm going to say, have my checkpoints of what I'm going to hit. And of course, over years, it becomes so natural, you don't need to look at the paper. But a lot of people get started with sales, and they're like, I'm just going to wing this puppy. I'm just going to get on the call. And before you know it, you're just, like you said, talking in circles, not really going in the direction to help this person because you have that fear or that mindset not worked out ahead of time. But
I think that the reason we resist scripts is because we don't want to sound robotic, right? We don't want to sound like, and today I'm calling because I'm hoping that we can come to an agreement. You don't want to sound scripty. But here's the deal. I have written scripts for many businesses. I have written all my own scripts. And if I am not looking at my script, I still forget critical pieces to the decision-making process. Mm-hmm. And that's really what the script is there's a psychology that our mind goes through as we're making a decision. And if you miss out a piece of that, like, for example, one that a lot of people miss is you have to reposition value. So a lot of us look at the solution of the thing you're selling and we say, well, how much does it cost? That's backwards for how we need our clients looking at it. We need them to look at what's my problem and how much is my problem costing me? And then what's the solution and how much is that solution worth to me? And so a lot of people skip that step. So they go through and they do this beautiful sales presentation and they get to the end and the people are still in that mindset of, well, what does it cost? Well, that's too much. So, but you're like, but you just told me you have this great big problem and I'm telling you I can fix it for you and you're telling me no because of the cost. Like, it's not adding up, but you miss that critical part, which we need in order to make a decision. And so I'm very pro scripting, not because you have to read it word for word. I mean, once you get into the flow, you can just use it like an outline. You go, okay, we're here. Now we're talking. Now we're here. Got to get this part in. Now we're talking. Get this part in. And it just really creates a very effective sales conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. The way I see it, and I studied flying for a bit, is it's really like a checklist in the cockpit. Professionals use them. It doesn't matter how long you're with the airline. You pull out that checklist every single time you start the flight or in the different varying parts of the flight because the checklist keeps the flow and keeps you keeping things safe. And this way, it keeps you doing an awesome sales call.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, this has been fabulous, fabulous. I don't want us to leave without people finding out again how they can get in contact with you. Let them know how they can do that.
Yeah, go to www.salesaremything.com. You can get a free copy of my sales book. And then also, if you really want more help on this, check me out on YouTube, Amy Walker Consulting. We have several playlists full of sales trainings and specifics to help you be more confident closing more deals.
Fabulous, fabulous. Thank you so much, Amy Walker, for coming to share your great gifts today on Savvy Broadcasting Life Unscripted.
Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome to Savvy Business, Life Unscripted with your host, Christina Rivera, where our guests share their wisdom and valuable business tips, empowering our audience to expand their personal potential.